Good morning from LATICRETE Live. My name is Matt Snell. I am the Connecticut rep, also repping Western Mass and Hudson Valley area of New York, being joined by Glen Adams, who reps the Northern New England territory. I'm going to go over the latest addition to our Hydroband shower system today, briefly walk you through the parts and pieces, and then we're going to get into a full demo. Okay, packaging configuration is available two ways. We've got full kits that contain everything you see here on the table. You've got a two-piece pan that comes in various sizes, pre-sloped, comes with a piece of fabric in the box to fit the top of the pan. Got a full roll of fabric, 100 square feet, for those of you that still use cementitious wallboard. Curb, modular configuration, interlocking, comes enough in the box to fit the longest side of the pan. We've got an accessory pack here that's got in corners, out corners, pipe collar, etc. Also comes with a roll of 6-inch band for sealing seams. Last but not least, comes with a tube of Hydroband adhesive and sealant. Okay, additional to the kit would be the bonding flange drain, available in PVC or ABS in multiple finishes. We've got brushed stainless, polished stainless, and oil rub finish. Okay, all of this comes in a kit, or everything is available a la carte. We've got a package over here that's basically a pan. Okay, comes two-piece pan with a piece of fabric. Additional to that, you would purchase curbs in whatever increments you need, adhesive and sealant, bonding flange drain, anything else you need to complete the project. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump right into a demo. All right, so getting back to the install portion of this thing. Okay, Glen's wiping down the substrate, as you would in any good tile installation. A couple quick things on substrate for the pan. Obviously concrete, suitable. 3/4 Advantex style underlayment, suitable. Do have the ability to recess your joists, drop Cisterin 2x4s, drop your main flush to the top of joists with this style pan. Okay. What do we got? 4x3/8 trowel. Okay, we want to get a good key into the substrate as we normally would, right? When we're talking large pans like this, we're talking coverage. We want to make sure we got maximum coverage, give ourselves a good foundation. So we got Glen keying everything in nice. Quick note while we're talking about the mortar that we're using here is one of our latest and greatest, basically what I call the best bag of adhesive on the market. Multi-Max Light, really versatile, good for everything. Good for thin, good for thick, good for non-sag, interior, exterior, submerged, really no limitations. Glass tile, can do anything you want with this stuff. All right, you can see Glen getting a good bead of material here. We want to make sure we're getting as much material under here as we can. Okay, beautiful. Singular direction. Notice the trowel techniques. Beautiful. We don't want any swirls. Single direction. Nice. Great coverage. Typically want to back butter our pan. We'll get a nice thin layer. It's going to help our bond. One of the things that we sell to with any of our shower systems, any of LATICRETE materials in general, is the ability to use modified adhesive everywhere. We're strong believers in using the best material you can afford for the job. So regardless of whether it's underneath the pan, sheet to pan, tile to board, any instance with our shower systems, we're recommending modified adhesives. You have the ability to use unmodified if that question comes up, but we always prefer the highest strength material you can use. Okay, flop the pan in here. Again, two-piece interlocking. All right, at this point, we're just going to drop a level on it, make sure we're good to go. Pan is in, rough to rough. You'll notice the perimeter of the pan has a 1/2-inch rabbet cut into it. That's to accept 1/2-inch wallboard. Curbs also have a 1/2-inch rabbet, so it locks together very nice. Okay, you're going to see a little bit farther down the video here, we're going to be using adhesive and sealant in all of those channels. The question comes up a lot, if you need to cut the pan Do you need to cut the rabbet back in? The answer is no. It is optional if you want to do so, but as long as you're dropping board or curb on top of the pan after it's cut, it will work fine, provided it's waterproofed correctly. Okay, from here, next step is going to be to drop our bonding flange drain body in. On a substantial amount of material here. See the notches cut around here? Gives us some good mechanical grab, good surface body to grab onto here. Again, 2-inch, 3-inch, ABS, PVC, very versatile. All right. So a quarter turn, you're going to see that material ooze up through there. Know we got great contact, good grab, thing's not going anywhere. I'm just feather that out, smooth that out, key some of that material into the notches into the pan. Okay, so as we discussed, the adhesive and sealant, right? That's kind of the glue that holds this whole thing together. We're going to talk about this a little bit more. But bonding flange is dropped in. Next step, we're going to put our wall board in, bead of that adhesive and sealant all the way around the back. Okay, your wall board's just going to drop right in. Okay, this connection with the adhesive and sealant really fuses the board to the pan, gives it a lot of structural strength. Obviously, it is a waterproofing membrane, but also an adhesive, so it holds everything together really well. So we get that nice bead in initially. Okay, we've got our wall board up. All right, we're going to talk about a couple of our components. We've for a long time we've had preformed, pre-waterproof niches, benches, a bunch of accessories, overlay curbs, ramps, extensions. We've got a lot of preformed, pre-waterproofed accessories to go along. I'm just going to show you how easy it is to drop one of our niches in. So no fasteners required. Basically just a bead of adhesive and sealant around the back. Glen's applying, stud to stud. Right, and again, just to re-emphasize, one of the things we love about all of our products is the ability to use a modified adhesive. We want modified everywhere, right? Strongest material you can use, never have any problems, okay? Another note on the board is, and our sheet membrane and band, they are all steam shower rated, so they meet the PERM rating industry-wide for steam shower, whether residential or commercial, so another selling point. Right, so Glen will screw this thing off for a little bit, and we'll get back in and go over some of the waterproofing aspects that really start to differentiate our system from some of the other ones that are out there. Okay, so we're done fastening the board. Now it's time to drop our pan sheet membrane on. We're using a 1/4 by 3/16 V-notch trowel for this. All right, again, modified thin set, as always. Same Multi-Max light. You'll notice Multi-Max light's diverse. As I mentioned, it can be used as a thick bed material or large and heavy tile mortar, or it can also be thinned out and used as a thin set. So it's super versatile. It can really be used for every aspect of this project. So you're going to see Glen, he's got a flat trowel fill in all the recesses into the pan, and he's going to come back, flip it over, and notch the material in. All right, as I mentioned, piece of fabric comes with the pan, whether it's a la carte or kit. The sheet is going to fit the exact dimension of the pan out of the box. Okay. We cheated a little bit. We pre-cut the hole, just saves you time. But pre-cut to pan size helps out with speed. Okay, we're fully troweled out, ready to roll. Again, maximizing 100% coverage, close as we can get. All right, I'm going to drop it in there. Again, one of the nice benefits of our sheet. The way it's designed, very supple material, so it likes to fall into thin set, whether it's on a floor or if you're still fabricating walls. It really adheres and bonds well. We're going to comb out our additional material. From this point, this is where we get to talk about a couple of the really cool things about this system. So when we designed this thing, we wanted to give the different installer bases out there some flexibility in the way that they can waterproof and tie this whole thing together. So we really have the most options, if you will, out there of any manufacturer in regards to the way that you can waterproof from this aspect. I mean, obviously we've got a waterproof wallboard, which is really the way to go. We've got the 2-piece pan with a fabric attached, okay? But as far as treating coves, corners, screw heads, niche to board, board to board, bench to board, etc. We've got three ways, okay? We've got sheet membrane, which, as I mentioned in the kit and a la carte, in corners, out corners are available. If you're going with a sheet style system, you would cut a piece of fabric to cover your screw heads, to band your board to board together. You can use this for everything, okay? We've also got, and this is one of our latest and greatest, one of my personal favorites, is the adhesive and sealant. This material really is a fix-all. It can be used to waterproof the entire assembly. Again, my personal opinion, it's the fastest way to go. You can see Glen here spreading. Generally, out of a tube, you're going to get enough material for about 75 linear feet, which generally is enough to do a shower. But it basically is a super strong adhesive and waterproof membrane in one. So its application is a one-stop shop. You're done, right? Very strong material in regards to expansion, contraction. Very little issue with debonding or cracking due to any movement. So, we really love this stuff. Important, obviously, that you get as with any waterproofing membrane, it's important that they are applied correctly. We keep pinholes in any material are going to cause a problem, voids, gaps, things of that nature. So we don't want to skimp on this step. We want to make sure we got a nice healthy bead of material in there, which we definitely do here. All right, installed. A couple different ways of handling it from here. You can use a margin trowel, as Glen is, flat knife, caulk tools, wet finger in a plastic glove, really any way, as long as we're keeping the bead nice, consistent, it's going to perform phenomenal. All right. Another nice thing here, which to me is a good selling feature over the band in corner out corner method, is build. We talked about build when you're talking about in corners on top of out corners and then a piece of band on top. A lot of times you get a lot of build, which with smaller tiles can really show from an aesthetic, create a negative aesthetic look, where these two ulterior ways of waterproofing minimize that or eliminate it altogether. So very little build with this method as well. Okay, last but not least, third method we've got waterproofing is our beloved gold standard for liquid applied waterproofing, HydroBand. Okay? Like any other application of HydroBand's two-coat system, we do have the ability here to use a multitude of fabrics. You can see here where you're basically just using 2-inch fiberglass tape, cement board tape, if you will. It's really sufficient for this type of installation. It just gives you a little bit of durability, extra durability in the corners. Okay, so that's all that's required if you prefer to go that route. Okay, single coat, embed the fabric, wait for that to cure out, put an additional coat on. We've also got our 6-inch white 9235 waterproofing fabric that we can use in place of that cement board tape, or we have, again, the 6-inch sealing tape, which needs to be thin set on. Quick note regarding steam: sheet membrane, steam approved; HydroBand board, steam approved; liquid HydroBand by itself, not steam approved. So if we're building a steam shower, we do need to treat all of the seams, pan to board, board to board, niche to board, etc., with the sealing tape. Okay, screws we can still use liquid HydroBand for steam, but everywhere else we do need to use sealing tape. Okay, you see Glen painting this on here. Mill thickness is standard for these type of applications. Okay, treating the niche the same way. We got 2-inch fiberglass tape. Again, 2 coats of liquid, you're good to go. Screw heads, 2 coats, liquid only, no fabric required there. Piece of cake. Also have the ability to use the adhesive and sealant for screw heads. Also use adhesive and sealant for board-to-board connections. You just apply a bead of sealant on top of your board, drop your next piece down, strike it. If you get good contact, you can strike that flush. If not, just put a small bead on, flat tape that. You're good to go. So really, when we talk about the benefits of this system, we're talking about steam shower rated. We're talking about modified adhesives everywhere. one of the huge ones, full LATICRETE system warranty. So we've got shower components, adhesives, grouts, and sealants, all LATICRETE. So depending on the installation, up to a lifetime residential system warranty. That's huge. Okay. Then again, the biggest differentiator, especially from a time perspective, and time is money, is the ability to waterproof in a couple different ways that are really unavailable through any other manufacturer. The adhesive and sealant, my personal favorite. Glen's a big proponent of liquid hydroband. Either one of them work beautifully. Again, very small build, very rapid cure system. Okay, last component to go out, second to last component to go in. We're going to put our top ring on. Okay, again, got notches cut in here. It's going to give us good mechanical grab. Going to anchor onto there. All right, our grates screw in, so adjustable for really any size, any thickness material. Again, just going to put a bead of mortar around. Want to get good contact. You're going to see it ooze up through the channels there. A little bit more material on top. Strike it nice, and you got a great, perfect pitch. Excellent. All right, last component to go in. It's going to be our curb. All right, method, it's the same. Again, Multi-Max light. Back to the larger size trowel, 1/4 by 3/8. Want to definitely get a good bed here, right? Want a good contact. We mentioned curbs are modular. This is in an effort to minimize SKUs, make it easier to warehouse, to distribute. So it's modular. They interconnect, so you got a male and a female end on each. Okay, interlock together. Again, 1/2-inch rabbet cut out of them, so we're going to lock into the pan nice, which means bead of adhesive and sealant all along the way. Back butter a little bit, make sure we get good contact. One thing to quickly note on any styrofoam curb, glass doors that are lagged into the wall, no problem. If you've got a hinged glass door that needs to go into a curb, styrofoam curbs are no good. At that point, you've got to go to a framed out, traditional wood framed out curb, which we do offer a curb overlay in. It's a nice horseshoe shaped piece of pre-slope, pre-waterproof material that slips right down on top of 2x4s, then you can lag into. So hinged glass doors, no good with styrofoam curbs. All right, boom, got them locked in. And then from there, we're going to apply a piece of sheet membrane on top, back to our sheet membrane trowel, 1/4 by 3/16 V-notch. And maybe a little bit hard to see on the video, but what we want to make sure we get across on this component is obviously we want it well bonded, but on the shower side we want a minimum 2-inch overlap onto the sheet membrane to make sure we get good waterproofing. Adhesive and sealant between the individual pieces of the curb are optional. Certainly won't hurt. Not really required if you're putting a piece of fabric over the top of everything. It's going to lock everything in nice together. But I do we prefer and we do endorse the use of adhesive and sealant to wrap up and over the curb to tie everything into the board. All right, installation of our curb fabric going in. Again, inside the shower, we want a 2-inch overlap onto the pan. All right. Excellent. From here, last step, we just really have to waterproof our junction here where the curb meets the wall. Again, we can do that any of the 3 ways. We've got the ins and outs. From a fabric perspective, we've got the adhesive and sealant, liquid hydroband with any of the fabrics that we discussed. You're good to go. So as far as bonding flange systems go, the most versatile, the fastest, easily in the industry. Modified adhesive everywhere, steam shower rated, all the components, all the parts and pieces you need to make a full project out of it. So, available at your local distributors. We appreciate it. Reach out to your local LATICRETE rep if you got any questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Cut.